Tonight, a group of civil rights activists are calling for a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy to be fired. I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Latricia Thomas. That call came after this viral video was posted to Facebook showing the man in handcuffs being kicked and punched.
Kayla Strayer joins us now live in the studio with more demands coming from the man's lawyer. Kayla.
Josh, Latricia, Charles Toney's lawyer says they want two things from the department. One, they want the charges against Toney, including resisting arrest and assault, to be dropped. Also, they want the deputy involved to be fired, even criminal charges filed. Right now, he's working on limited duty. Toney and a group of his supporters showed up to the sheriff's office today to meet with the sheriff and the DA.
The punching and kicking seen in this viral video brought Charles Toney to the hospital. As you can see from this video Toney posted to Facebook. Toney's out-of-town attorney Lee Merritt showed us hospital paperwork from a visit after the arrest. The paperwork says Toney was diagnosed with a broken finger, a broken nose, and a collapsed lung, among other injuries.
Mr. Toney suffered severe injuries as a result of this assault.
The arrest report says Toney was biting and spitting on the officer, but that's not true, Merritt says.
Did you do anything inappropriate?
There was nothing that warranted a savage attack while handcuffed.
Sheriff Jim Hammond said earlier this week that Toney was examined by a nurse at the jail and at that time did not require hospitalization.
There are a few injuries that occur on the takedown to the ground. There was no injuries that required hospitalization, stitches, or any further treatment at the hospital.
Merritt says the injuries were caused during the arrest and that Toney was refused further medical treatment while in jail.
For too long, our elected officials make excuses for not speaking out against injustice.
Charles Toney also goes by his rap name Interstate Tax. Here's a radio interview he posted to Facebook about the incident.
They beat me for 10 minutes straight, saying they didn't like my music. They don't like what I speak about. They don't like me. They don't like what I drive.
The video prompting an outcry from Toney's supporters, including his friend Brandon Woodruff.
I promise you, we will not let up. And if that means we have to turn Chattanooga into Ferguson, we will.
So we've been staying on top of this, asking several questions to the sheriff's office today. This is the statement we got. Quote, at this time, we prefer to allow the investigative process time to work and defer to the Department of Justice. We'll keep you updated. Latricia.
Kayla, thank you. Toney's attorney says officers should have never been there that day serving a warrant on other charges. They say a deal had been worked out for Toney to turn himself in. We're working to check that information.
Detective Blake Kilpatrick was named in a $40 million wrongful death lawsuit earlier this year in January 2017. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says deputies shot and killed Christopher Sexton after a chase. Deputies told the TBI Sexton got out of his truck, pointed a gun at officers. That's when they opened fire. According to U.S. federal court, the suit could be dropped at the beginning of next year. We tried to see Detective Kilpatrick's personnel records. We were told that they are confidential due to his assignment with the Fugitive Apprehension Strike Team.
The call for justice for Toney spilled over into the Chattanooga City Council meeting this week. This is what happened on Tuesday. Protesters stood up and shouted, "No justice, no peace." One woman even called council members cowards. Council members eventually got up and left that meeting. Councilman Erskine Oglesby mentioned that the situation is a county one with the Sheriff's Department and not within the jurisdiction of the City Council. The group wants a community oversight board created to hold law enforcement accountable.